The next morning, I leave Santiago and head west to the colorful port city of Valparaiso, traveling through Chile's picturesque wine country.
Y cantando se fue. Y para ti con amor, Violetita, Raistrayense canta esta linda cuequita, güey. Y nos vamos con la Violeta más, compadre.
En mi patria una violeta, cantando se vino, cantando se fue, nació junto de una pata, cantando se vino, cantando se fue, nació junto de una pata, y para ser la más hermosa, cantando se vino, cantando se fue, Dios le dio voz y guitarra, cantando se vino, cantando se fue. En mi patria una violeta, canto a los corazones de los chilenos, cantando se vino, cantando se fue, cantando al mundo entero, cantando se vino, cantando se fue, corazón de los chilenos sí, que está implorando, cantando se vino, cantando se fue. Porque ya no está cantando, alma, voz y guitarra, Violeta Parra, Violeta Parra.
Nicknamed the Jewel of the Pacific, this stunning coastal city was founded in 1543 by Spanish explorer Juan de Saavedra, who named it Valparaiso, Paradise Valley, after the village in Spain where he was born. The city emerged as South America's greatest port in the late 19th century, during which time it saw a huge influx of wealthy European immigrants, which had a massive influence on the city's urban landscape. However, a massive earthquake in 1906 pushed all its wealthy residents out, which drew a massive blow to the city's economy. The opening of the Panama Canal in 1914 put the final nail in the coffin. Although in the past 2 decades the city has made a bit of a comeback and has regained its status as South America's most important port, much of the current city is in decay, and most areas of the city are still unsafe for tourists, with drugs, theft, and poverty being a major issue. However, its status as an UNESCO World Heritage Site has preserved its unique architecture. So despite its problems, thousands of tourists continue to visit each year to marvel at its street art and colorful townhouses, which have earned it the nickname Little San Francisco. This is Plaza Sotomayor, it's the city's main square. The city is laid out differently from most Latin American cities because here the streets are more sporadic rather than a perfect 90-degree grid. And also the main square doesn't contain a cathedral. Instead, its main edifice is this beautiful early 20th century Parisian style building which serves as the headquarters of the Chilean Navy.
Estamos frente a la gobernación marítima.
This is the monument of the heroes of Iquique. It honors the crew of the Esmeralda who were killed in 1879 during the Battle of Iquique against the Peruvians.
Cuando haya repartición, voy a cantar el corrido de un hombre que fue a la guerra y anduvo en la sierra herido.
Digo, eso me pasa que me...
¡Esto va a ser en lancha con la punta navegada! ¡Se va la lancha!
We're in in Chile's famous port city of Valparaiso. The city is famous for its powerful buildings as well as its street art. Around the 1990s, thousands of street artists began migrating to Valparaiso and painting these colorful murals, completely transforming the city's landscape. This is the old customs building. It was built in 1855 and is a rare example of post-colonial architecture. Behind me is Iglesia de Martis. It was built in 1837 and it stands on the site of the first church in Valparaiso. And in fact, this is the fourth church to stand on this site.
And behind the beaches, the ocean, Pacific Ocean, and more. La otra parada aquí en esta esquina. Otra parada. Ahí tienen un mirador. A la vereda.
Pega a garrafa. Tá bebendo água.
This beautiful European style building you see behind me is Palacio Baburizza, built in 1916 for an Italian saltpeter type. It was not named after the Italian man, but after a Croatian immigrant who purchased it in 1925. And these days it houses the city's fine arts museum. You haven't really been to Valparaiso unless you've ridden on one of its world-famous funiculars. I'm now heading just north of Valparaiso to the popular resort city of Vina del Mar. Vina del Mar translates to Vineyard of the Sea. Named after a former Spanish hacienda, the city's origins can be traced back to the 1870s with the arrival of the railway and British industrial firms. Originally just a suburb of neighboring Valparaiso, it was a young railroad engineer named Jose Francisco Vergara who instigated the idea of having a separate city. The area officially became a city after 1906 when an earthquake in Valparaiso forced many of its elite residents to relocate here and begin constructing elegant European-style mansions. With the construction of a casino in the early 1930s, the city quickly grew into a playground for Chile's wealthy and elite, including the Chilean president himself. Over the decades, the city has grown into a popular destination for both local and international tourists, and today is the country's fourth largest city and also its most popular beach destination, with high-rise condos and resorts dotting its skyline. In addition, the city's many green spaces and elegant French-style gardens have earned it the nickname the Garden City. Yeah. Alright, this is Vina del Mar's main square. This building you see behind me is Parroquia de Nuestra Señora Dolores, which translates to Church of Our Lady of Agony. The current church was built in 1912 and it replaced an earlier church that was destroyed in the 1906 earthquake. It may not look like it, but this building right here is actually an Anglican church. That beautiful building right there is the Palacio Baburizza. It was built in 1912 for an Italian businessman, hence the Venetian style. These days it houses the Historic Institute of the Valparaiso Catholic University. Behind me is this famous flower clock. It was originally built in 1962 for the FIFA World Cup, and earlier this year it was actually destroyed by a landslide, but as you can see, they've done a great job of restoring it. And as you can see, it's an actual functioning clock. This building right here is the Castillos. It was built in 1912 for a local businessman and politician. It was built in a Tudor style to mimic a 19th century Scottish home. Since 1967, it has been serving as a private club for the city's affluent Arab community. That building we see up there is the Presidential Palace. It was built in 1929 during the presidency of Carlos Ibáñez del Campo. It has served as a summer vacation home for many presidents, and traditionally the new president-elect would stay here the night before his or her inauguration. Over there we can see the city's famous Castillo wolf. It was built in 1908 for a prominent German trader. In 1917 he hired an architect to turn the home into a castle by adding a small bridge and towers. Then in 1946 the castle changed ownership and the new owner had the southern tower removed. In 1959 it was sold to the city, who has since used it to house museum exhibits and art exhibitions. That beautiful building we see up there is the Brunette Castle, also called the Yarur Palace. It was built in 1923 for the Brunette family. In 1940 it was purchased by a wealthy Don named Nicholas Yarur, who lived here until 1945 when it was acquired by the Chilean government and used as a guest house.
Tú cambiaste mi vida y me enseñaste. Solo aprendí a quererte y no a dejarte.
Tú cambiaste mi vida.